The city of Seattle has some CCTV cameras that are placed in high crime areas specifically. And that's because, frankly, the Seattle Police Department's really short-staffed, so they can't have cops on the beat in all these high crime areas all the time. So they've got some CCTV cameras specifically directed, areas like 3rd and Pine, which came in handy the other day when 2 young people brutally attacked an elderly man for no reason. Thankfully, there was a CCTV camera pointed right at it, and they were able to capture both of the individuals. Now, under the former mayor, Bruce Harrell, he approved an expansion of that program. But because the new socialist mayor, Katie Wilson's base, hates cops, they have been pressuring her to wind back that expansion. And some of the members of the city council are pretty upset about it. This segment is brought to you in partnership with our friends at Future 42. Turn your frustration into action at future42.org. Make sure you sign up for their newsletter to be alerted to opportunities to do just that. So we already knew Rob Saka, one of the more sane Seattle City Council members. I had learned just a couple weeks ago that he was in the Boston Marathon when the bombing happened. And so he is very supportive of the idea and the expansion approved under the former mayor to have these CCTV cameras at the stadium, because the World Cup is coming up in just a couple days. And those cameras have already been installed there. And he's like, why would we not turn them on? But Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson said, we're not going to turn them on unless we get word that there's like a plot, which is the stupidest thing, because by the time you get word that there might be some sort of terror plot, it might be too late to capture what you need to capture to help police and the federal government thwart a terror attack. So Rob Saka's already turn it on, and now he's being joined by Seattle City Councilman Rob Kettle, who represents District 7, which is downtown Seattle. He told Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson in a letter, he said, I'm writing to you to alert you that the decision to pause the expansion of the technology-assisted public safety pilot program, including the installation and operation of CCTV cameras in the Stadium District, the Central District, and the Capitol Hill Nightlife District, is inconsistent, basically, with city law. I'll get to more on that in a moment. Says Seattle Municipal Code lays out the process, requirements, and authority for the use of surveillance and specifies that only council-recognized exceptions to the authorization of a surveillance technology is allowed. He said there is no authority granted via the authorizing ordinance for the mayor to pause the program beyond those expressly listed. So what he's saying is, the council passed this expansion of what was a pilot program. And you can't, as the mayor, just say, I'm going to come in and stop it. Here he is with KOMO News.
So you believe the mayor is violating the law if she does not turn on the cameras?
I believe that she is not operating according to the ordinances, the law, with respect to the stadium ordinances, and her duties under the charter. This idea that you're going to get a credible threat warning is not right. It's not the professional standard. And so we need the mayor to lead on this and to ensure, particularly now that we have the capacity, the 22 cameras are installed. They're ready to go. They just need to be turned on, and they need to be turned on for the World Cup.
Yeah, this idea, and they also paused the automatic license plate readers. I mean, that combined with the cameras is how law enforcement, especially the feds, can almost instantly track if there is a suspect in a terror plot, where they went, where they're going. So hopefully you can prevent it, but on the back end, so you can track them down and arrest them. And remember, she said, even if, they have a credible threat and she does turn on the cameras down by the stadiums, she said that she would turn them back off if federal ICE immigration agents are spotted in the area. You know how many freaking federal agents are going to be down by the stadium for the World Cup? Every alphabet agency there is in the United States will be down there. And as we've already seen for the last year and a half, the left loony protest class, they will mistake any federal agency for ICE. They'll see Department of Homeland Security, oh, that must be ICE. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the freaking DEA or the FBI, and they'll be like, ICE. And then they're going to throw a fit, and the mayor's going to turn the cameras off. It's absolutely outrageous. And Councilman Kettle said something that I said on this show last week, which is if something happens, it's on her.
It's a hypothetical, but if God forbid something horrible happened down in the Stadium District during the World Cup and those cameras were not on, what would that mean?
That would be a tragedy first and foremost. and it would be the responsibility of the mayor.
100%. I 100% agree. And it's not just terrorism issues, right? That wasn't the purpose of the camera pilot program to begin with. I mean, I guess terrorism is always a concern, but look, they got other cameras out there to help, and other methods as well, the feds do, to help stop terrorism. I mean, this is about street level crime that is a reality right now and poses just as much of a threat to people who are here for the World Cup, or frankly, people who live here and work here and visit here all the time. I mean, we've had a bunch of random attacks. I mentioned the elderly man who was beat for no reason in downtown Seattle. There's a guy clinging to his life at Harborview Medical Center right now because he got beat in the back of the head with a hammer. The woman who was attacked down on the waterfront, you name it. And so the cameras in these high crime areas where those types of things happen can help catch people who are out there hurting individuals who live in this city or who are visiting this city. And I mean, I think this is just one example of the disconnect here between reality and the mayor's office. Remember, was it a couple weeks ago now, they installed those fancy toilets in Pioneer Square? I think it was May 15th is when the mayor put out this announcement that they were going to put these very expensive, fancy toilet systems in Pioneer Square. Remember, she said, today is a first step to delivering Seattle's #1 and #2 priority. Creating clean, accessible, and safe public bathrooms. So they installed 2 of these at a tremendous cost. And basically the idea is you can use it for a certain amount of time and then it like unlocks, the doors unlock or something. So they thought that would stop drug addicts from just going in there to shoot up or whatever it is. But we said, I give it a couple days. Before they're absolutely trashed. Well, we were right, because doesn't take a rocket scientist. You put it in one of the most high crime areas of the city where there's a bunch of drug addicts and drug dealers and homeless people. Yep, one of the windows already smashed in on one of these $116,000 smart toilets just a couple weeks after the installation. So, I mean, this is just going to continue to happen. It's a total disconnect. You have to solve the problem. You have to solve the reason why all these businesses have their toilets locked up. I would love to see the day in Seattle where you can, as a normal functioning human being, walk into a business and say, hey, can I use your restroom? And they're like, sure, it's just right back there. No code, no beep, 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 beep. You could just, why the bathroom's all under lock and key. Why? Because people went in there and started using drugs and started trashing them and leaving needles and all of these things. I mean, I was in Idaho. Nobody locked up their bathrooms in Idaho. Why? There wasn't any homeless people. There weren't any drug addicts. You could just use the bathroom in a first world country. So putting these fancy bathrooms out there doesn't solve the issue. Solving the issue solves the issue. You got to deal with the drug addicts. You got to deal with the homeless. You have to, enforce the law. And then the businesses will gladly open up their bathrooms because they won't have drug addicts using them and leaving needles in them and making them generally disgusting. I mean, total disconnect with so-called leaders. It's outrageous. That segment is brought to you in partnership with our friends at Future 42. Turn your frustration into action at future42.org. Make sure you sign up for their newsletter to be alerted to opportunities to do just that and get involved in saving the state we love.